Binance is really the one causing all the problems. So what stock dropped 93%? It's not a bank stock, believe it or not. And this is Better Home and Finance Holding, or Better.o. Better.o. I tell you what. It is a, online mortgage lender since shockwaves when it dropped 93%, making altcoins even seem like a better bet. Very interesting. We're seeing a fundamental shift in the world of investing. What we're seeing is that crypto is seen to be risky. A lot of people thought crypto was way riskier than the stock market. And yes, it's kind of proven to be true over the short term, over the last 10 to 12 years. However, you're starting to see the cracks in the stock market. And you're starting to see that the riskiness of crypto to people are starting to think about it a lot more in terms of the upside potential, not the downside potential. And they're willing to take riskier bets to change their lives because the economy is so bad and the stock market is so bad and the inflation is so bad. And so you're seeing the cracks in the stock. People are losing faith in the status quo of the stock market. And they're also at the same time becoming more comfortable with risk on assets like crypto. It's like a meeting in the middle almost. One day crypto won't be as explosive as it is now. This is one of the opportunities here now for you. So there you go. All right. So moving on here. Prime Trust admits to losing $8 million it invested in the Terra ecosystem. And let me tell you, this is interesting because our guy, Corey Clipston, Swan Bitcoin, this is who he was using to hold all your Bitcoin. The same people that lost $8 million in Terra. Guys, Bitcoin is self-sovereign. Bitcoin is about owning it and about custody and about digital real estate. It's about that. However, you have some of these Bitcoin maximalists that have discovered ways that they can make money and sell lies to you, to the true Bitcoiner. They can sell lies to you and you'll believe it because you trust them because they're a fellow Bitcoin maxi. And that's the Corey Clipson story of Swan Bitcoin. Guys, he's blaming Alex Mashinsky, blaming FTX, blaming CZ, saying this is the problem in crypto is these centralized agencies holding too much power and too much weight. And yet his own Swan Bitcoin trusted in Prime Trust, a centralized company that they put too much weight and stock into. You just kind of see the circular problem here. Let's see here. Crypto custodian Prime Trust is admitted to losing $8 million in customer and corporate funds through the collapse of Terra. In June, Prime Trust went into receivership after losing access to a wallet hosted by a third-party account. The Nevada Financial Institutions Division also accused the company of using customer funds to buy crypto companies. That's what they were doing, guys. They were making all these great investments, and it was all your money. They were double, triple, quadruple investing your money. And really, in the United States, we didn't really use FTX nearly as much as they did around the world. So for that, from that perspective, okay, people around the world were losing. Maybe it wasn't your money, but your money may have been in BlockFi. Your money may have been in FTX US. Definitely some connections here. Speaking of FTX, moving on here. Embattled crypto exchange FTX hires billionaire Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital to manage recovered crypto. Very interesting story here. Troubled crypto exchange FTX is hiring prominent crypto asset management firm to handle its recovered assets. New court filing, the bankrupt crypto exchange is seeking authorizations for billionaire Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital to take over the management of its recovered virtual currencies as part of the restructuring process. Let's see here. And I think, is Galaxy Digital a company you can trust? Well, it's a company you trust more than FTX for sure. It's going to look out for its best interests, but part of Galaxy Digital's best interest is keeping people interested and involved in crypto. That's how they make their money. So from a big picture perspective, hopefully they see it and they get it. In the micro though, could we see some bad things for holders of FTX? Great question. I never held any money on FTX, as you guys know. and all that's going to come out, of course. It's all true and accurate information here pretty soon. You got to know what I mean, probably a month or two down the road. But FTX recovered $7 billion worth of crypto assets. And the game for FTX was always waited out. It was always waited out. Let's hope Bitcoin goes back up. And when Bitcoin goes back up, we'll be able to solve everything. I think Sam Bankman-Fried thought he was still going to be in control at that time, and he's no longer in control. CZ breaks silence here. Refutes Binance's Bitcoin dumping allegations to safeguard BNB. And we've been talking about this story for several days. And we've been telling you, I believe there was no merits to it. And this was just allegations and rumors by the same people that want to see Binance fail. They want to see a good actor fail. They're trying to put pressure to make it happen. And it just doesn't play out. And CZ always comes in eventually and tells you what the real deal is. So let's see what he said here. There was mounting speculation that CZ was causing a Bitcoin sell-off. He took to Twitter to respond, reposting a thread by a user named ZK Hopium. Of course, we've told you this the whole time. The thread by ZK Hopium sheds light on the events surrounding Binance Coin's liquidation. Excuse me. It explains the exploit occurred, the liquidation on Binance Protocol. Explains the exploit occurred on October 6th, 2022 on the Binance Smart Chain, creating 2 million BNB. Of this amount, 900,000 BNB were deposited on Binance Protocol to borrow approximately $150 million worth of USDT and USDC. In response, BNB chain burned 2 million BNB. Let's see. Addressing the allegations, CZ expressed its appreciation for the detailed research presented by ZK Hopium and emphasized the insignificance of a $30 million liquidation impact on Bitcoin's price. CZ stated that Binance does not issue BTC and the most rewards are given in BNB. He highlighted that the alleged fear of a significant Bitcoin price impact is unfounded, as $30 million represents less than 0.001% of Bitcoin's daily trading volume. And I think that, it's so interesting because when you think about this, this is a lot of the narrative for this big altcoin bleed, this big dump that's coming for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to dump, altcoins are going to bleed off 5 times worse. And a lot of this is based on were we going to see a major liquidation event? And CZ's telling you, yeah, $30 million is not a major liquidation event. I mean, sometimes there's hundreds of millions of liquidations in a day, and that can be impactful. $30 million liquidation, maybe not that bad. So he is saying here, I think he's saying that they did get liquidated. I'm trying to read between the lines here, because it looks like they may have gotten liquidated on that position, but they were not selling off in order to prop it up because they just didn't care. It was a $30 million, $30 million to them is not that much, guys. Not that much at all. $30 million for Binance. And I know that's hard for people to understand. But I see it, I see it in my own life and my own financial change I've gone through in the last few years. Things that people would think are absolutely ridiculous. Like, I was supposed to go on a trip next weekend. We were going to go take my kids, family trip. We're going to take my kids to New York City. We're going to do some baseball games. We were going to take my daughter to the U.S. Open. And in the end, it just was, my son ended up having a tournament on Sunday next week, a baseball tournament. We can't go. So what that means is that all this money we paid for all of these tickets, now the hotels and stuff can be rebooked or refunds, but to get the money back on the tickets, it's probably like $3,000 total. We would have to go and relist them on a third-party site. And for $3,000, I'd just rather burn it than go through all that because they're probably not going to sell anyways. Maybe we'll make a fraction of the money back. And it is what it is. It's a burn. I just burn it and it sucks. And people are like, $3,000 is a lot of money. I get it. I know, but it's not worth the effort to me for that. And I think this is what CZ's saying here is it wasn't worth the effort for $30 million. If it was a much higher amount, then yes, maybe. But all the people that are telling you that Bitcoin's going to crash and dump and altcoins are going to bleed, they're the same people selling these lies to you about Binance being insolvent and, Binance is really the one causing all the problems. It almost seems like they're redirecting the FUD and they're trying to make people scared for possibly a short squeeze that could be coming.